What it do, man? It's your boy Josh. We back up in this thing with another one. We woke up this morning. It's another beautiful day. All praise to the Most High, man. Let's get it. Guys, got a very important video topic today. Today, talking about simping, the dangers of simping, the consequences of simping, how it can literally cost you your life, bro. I know a lot of us young men have struggled with this before. We may find ourselves struggling with it in the future or struggling with it right now. But I'm your reminder. I'm making this video for a reason, because I really want to look out for my boys so they don't end up finding themselves in a very dire situation. I want you guys to live a nice, peaceful, good life. And simping will take you in a course that is not leading you to a nice, fruitful, peaceful life, bro. So with that being said, let's get into it, man. First things first, bro, just so we're on a common understanding, we got to talk about what a simp actually is. A simp is a guy who is willing to place his desire to be with a woman above any and everything else. He is so captivated and he is so in awe of this woman's beauty, and he's so attracted to her. His desire to want to be intimate with this woman becomes his top priority. It becomes his mission. It becomes his mission over what God has put his mission to be, over what God has called him to do, over his responsibilities, over his over his own well-being, bro. That's how down bad we can go get about, you know what I'm saying, women. When it comes to getting, especially when we're young too, and we filled with all those new hormones and we want women to like us, and we are willing to throw logic and sound judgment out the window as long as this fantasy can be fulfilled. This fantasy of us actually being with this woman, laying with this woman. We are trying to do whatever it takes to make that come true, because that is our number one goal. That is our number one desire. And if we do not have control over our desires, they have control over us. And I don't want that to be us. A simp is a man who is willing to give this woman everything, give her his money, give her his last, do all those things. And before I go further down that route, I want to talk to you guys about what a simp, like, to bottom line up front, I don't think it's possible for a husband in which a woman chooses to be a man's wife. I cannot call that man a simp. You cannot call that man simping. That man is willing, if called upon, willing to lay his life down for that woman. So if he's willing to play the ultimate sacrifice, pay the ultimate price with his life, there is nothing too far and too excessive when it comes to ensuring that his wife's safety or her well-being is taken care of. As a man, as a husband, that you should take that as an obligation freely, and you should want to, accomplish that obligation and fulfill it with intensity as you assume the responsibility of being a husband. You are willing to do whatever it takes, even lay down your life. So when it comes to the things that you do, it's not necessarily based on just what you do, but who you do it for. Doing those things for a woman who does not choose you. It's okay as a man to give your woman flowers, give your wife flowers, buy her gifts, shower her with love, etc., because she chooses to be with you. But when we are doing those things for women who do not choose to be with us, let me think about it, we'll see. When we do all those things for a woman who gives us that type of energy, that is simping. There's nothing wrong with doing that with women who choose to be with us, who are attracted to us, who like us for our personalities, who see us for who we are and say, I love this man. I want to be under his leadership. I want to be under him. I want to be with him. There's nothing wrong with you doing above and beyond for that woman. Because she chooses to be with you, you should be willing to do. But when we do those things for women that don't choose us, bro, it can lead us down a dark path. That right there, my friend, is simping. Sending this woman all your money, sending your woman this, making a bunch of time available, doing, bending to whatever she wants you to do, bending to how, like, God is calling you on a specific path and he's calling you to do X, Y, and Z. Wants you to fulfill your responsibilities, but you're willing to say, I'm not listening to God. I'm listening to this woman because of what I desire from this woman, in hopes of receiving this woman, in hopes of this woman choosing me. I'm not going to listen to what God want me to do. I'm going to stop going to the gym. I'm going to stop working on my purpose. I'm going to stop, doing what I'm supposed to be doing in order for me to be the man that I want to. I want this woman so bad that all I want to do is just listen to her, do whatever she wants me to do because this is all I care about. This is all I want. That is simping. And there is a man from the beginning of time that described where his life of simping led to his downfall. I'm going to show you how this man was in the toppest places, the highest, highest considered places in regard to status, ended up trembling down and eventually ended up costing his life. And that man today I'm talking about is Samson. How Samson was a judge in Israel who had divine physical strength, meaning he was super strong, that his strength was out of this world. God gave him out of world strength, bro. Give you guys an example. He slayed a lion with his own bare hands. That's how strong this dude was. And he was a judge within Israel. Israel is where God's people lived. He was a judge within that jurisdiction, within where God's people lived. He was a judge, a person in high authority, a person in high status. Translate to a man today. This is a man that everybody knew. This is the dude that not only is he a judge, but he's super strong too. Think about all the things that he wanted in this world, bro. He had probably all the charisma. Everybody knew his name. He had a bunch of clout. He was really popping, bro. This is Samson we talking about, bro. But because he was controlled by his lust, because he was controlled by beauty, it ended up leading to his downfall. There is these people that were the enemies of the Israelites, the enemies of God's people, known as the Philistines. The Philistines, God commanded the Israelites to not be with the Philistines. Guess what Samson did? He saw a Philistine woman that was so beautiful. He said, I got to be with her. She is fire. So he disobeyed God. God told him to do this. But because he saw this woman that was so beautiful, he said, bump what God talking about. I'm finna go get that. So boom, he goes over there, talks to her, X, Y, and Z. And the Philistines, their enemies, they know who Samson is. They got beef with Samson. So the Philistines like, oh, he likes our women. Oh, look, he got this woman named Delilah. Oh, he likes her. All right, cool. But Delilah's with us. But since he's so captivated by her, all right, Delilah, you got him wrapped around your finger. Hey, go ahead and tell us what makes him so strong. So that's what Delilah did. They said, Delilah, we'll pay you hella bread. We'll give you, the government is telling, hey, we'll give you money. Just go find out what makes that dude strong so we can find out how to make him weak so we can capture him. Because he is a high value target, bro. We need to take Samson out. Because if Samson is at the status that he is right now, the strength that he is, we can't mess with him, bro. So we need you to go find out what makes him weak. Of course, Samson, he's a simp. He's captivated by beauty. She asked him straight up, what makes you weak? What takes your strength away? What do I got? Like, what does it take? He said, well, you just got to wrap me up in like some ropes. So when he slept, after he laid with her, she wrapped him up in some ropes. I think it was 7 of them to be exact. I can't exact, but he said he gave her something like, yeah, you got to tie me up in these type of ropes and I'll take my strength away. What a coincidence that the Philistines come in there while he's tied up in them ropes. The way that he described, Delilah tied him up like that. It didn't slow him down. They couldn't capture him. They couldn't kill him. He put BTA on them boys. And so, boom, some time goes by. They say, hey, we got to see if you can still mess with him. Samson saw that she betrayed him. Oh, wait, was he mad? I don't know if he was mad. But he threw out his discernment. He threw out his sound judgment because he was willing to do whatever this woman wanted because how beautiful she was, because he was controlled by his lust, bro. So he said, yeah, I know. I said, if you tie me up like that, it was going to mess me up. But actually, you got to tie me up with these type of ropes. So she get those different type of ropes and tie them up in that site. The same exact situation happens, bro. It didn't happen. It happened one time, but now it's happened a second time. You would think Samson would learn his lesson, right? Nope. She came back to him, asking him that same question, bro. She said, what makes you strong? I need to know. Please, just tell me. Just tell me. She was talking to... Samson knew that she wasn't with the team. She wasn't choosing him. She was just choosing him for who he was, what she could get out of him. She was only in his area for what she could. She could get money out of betraying him by finding out his deepest secret, by using him. She could get paid. She had some sort of beneficial gain to him. Samson knew that, and he chose to ignore the signs over and over. He saw that this woman didn't love him. He knew that this woman didn't mess with him like that, didn't choose him like that, wasn't really loved like he knew, bro. It didn't happen once, but it happened twice where she betrayed him, where she tried to get him caught up. But you think that the dude knew that? But did you think he had any sort of self-control to be like, yo, if I keep on messing with this chick, she gonna cost me my life. She gonna get me killed out here. Nope. So he tells her, oh, the third time, he's like, yeah, the reason why I'm so strong is because of my hair. It's because of my hair. My hair is, I get strength from my hair. When he was born, God gave him a commandment that he should not cut his hair. And he should not go and touch and be around dead people. He told him, don't do those two things. And I think it was something else he told. I can't remember. But he told him those specific commandments. Don't cut your hair. Don't go around touching dead people. Don't be around dead people. That was the source of his strength. That's what made him who he was. That's what made him great. And he knew he shouldn't have trusted this woman, but he was thinking, man, what if I told her my secret? If I finally just tell her my secret, maybe she'll like me. Maybe if I just keep giving, eventually she'll come along. Maybe if I just keep giving and giving and giving, maybe that'll get her to like me. Maybe that'll get her to choose me. Okay, I feel bad. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and tell her the truth about where I got my source of strength from, what makes me me, what makes me special. I'm going to give this to her, to allow her the possibility to take advantage of it because she has something to gain from it. She has something to gain from this for her personally through my demise, though. So he told her. She cut his hair off while he was asleep. They came in there, captured him. They came in there and captured him, and he couldn't break free. And that's when he realized how far he had gotten away from God. Not only was he with a Philistine woman, but he told people and ignored all the signs. He thought he knew better than God. He thought, no, she's not like that. No, she'll eventually come along. You were telling yourself that because you wanted that fantasy to come true so bad. You got so out of touch with reality, bro. We all have had that woman that we went over and beyond for. That didn't show us any sort of interest, any sort of intention that they really loved us. They showed us all the signs as to why we shouldn't trust them. But because we were so controlled by our desires, because we wanted to be with them so bad, we ignored the truth. And we kept telling ourselves lies because those lies made us happy. It was the hope and the thought that it potentially could be what we think it could be or what we want it to be is what made us keep feeding into it, bro. And we kept ignoring the signs and we kept ignoring the signs, and now we are way off the map. We are not anywhere close to God. Now we're captured. Now we're in enemy territory. Now we're looking at all the things we lost. Now we're just filled with regret. Now he's praying to God, crying to God, asking for help and this and that. When God was showing him the sign after sign and communicating every single day, all day, every day to him as to why he should move. Now when he gets caught up, now he wants to be sorry. Now he's asking for God to come and save him. But he chose to listen to this woman and be with this woman over being with what God had called him to be, bro. So eventually he got strong enough. They had him captured up. He was a slave. They gouged his eyes out. They went crazy on dude. They made his life a living hell. He was a slave now. He went from a judge. And don't you think that's a coincidence? He was a judge, bro. Somebody that is thinking logical. Somebody that can see the rationality behind things. How can somebody be a judge and find themselves in a situation like this, bro? And I'm not here to judge Samson, because I know exactly what he was going through. But he didn't have self-control. He didn't want to wake up out of that dream. That a judge, somebody who has sound judgment, somebody who uses logic and thinks and knows what the best route is, things that make sense. How he felt, how he ended up failing this way. Eventually, he got his strength back. They were using him as a tool for entertainment. They said, hey, bring that boy Samson out here, man. Let's go ahead and put him on display. We're going to use him as entertainment. We're going to mock him, etc., etc. We're going to chain him up. His hair started growing back, and he prayed to God. Said, God, just give me this one little bit of gust of strength. Give me enough strength to just go ahead and end this. And in his last moments, in that moment, he had pushed down and toppled he was so strong, he toppled the temple. He toppled a building on top of the Philistines and himself. He killed many Philistines in that act, but he ultimately ended up killing himself. All because he prioritized his desire to be with a woman over what God called him to be, over being close to God. And so, if it can happen to a man like Samson, it can happen to all of us. I'm showing you guys that as an example because we have all probably had an experience before in which we did a lot of things like what Samson did. And what did it leave us? It left us feeling heartbroken because we had let ourselves believe this facade, believe this story that wasn't really true. And it got to a point where it ended up killing us, a point where even like it ended up costing us everything, where there was no other option but we had to let that woman go. That's when we realized that that idea of being with the woman was all just an idea. I'm so passionate about this story, bro. I don't know if you guys know this, but here is a man sleeping, and this is Delilah cutting Samson's hair. I have it tatted on me, bro. This is Delilah cutting Samson's hair while he sleeps. That is what my sleeve is. That's how passionate I am about this. As a man who has struggled with lust, who continues to battle his lust every single day, who I've told you in my past of me struggling with lust, I got a reminder on it tattooed on my body because it means that much to me, bro. This is something that I deal with and battle every single day. This may not be a battle, or this may not pertain to some men out here that are listening to me, but this is a battle that I've struggled with and continue to struggle with to this day. And that's with women. And finding myself in positions where I want to be with women, and finding myself in a position where I attract women so much to the point or attract this type of woman so much that it's like there's no coincidence that this keeps happening. There has to be something with me. I need to fix myself. Why am I attracting the same type of woman, the woman that is not necessarily genuinely interested in who I am and what I want? A woman. I'm not even finna get onto that. That's a video topic for another day. But if you guys have been rocking with my videos for a while, you guys have known my struggle. If you guys seen my video this past week, I want to say what God did to me, where he immediately instilled fear. You got to listen to the signs, bro. When God shows you a sign, bro, you got to listen to it. Because if you don't, if you continue to defy him, you continue to disobey, You can find yourself in a situation in which you don't desire to be in. I don't mean to say that to scare y'all, but it should scare you straight. It should scare you to start acting right, to where you will never place women above your purpose. Where you would throw your logic and you throw your sound judgment away off of this woman. A woman who does not choose us. A woman who is taking advantage of us. We have to use our wisdom. We have to use discernment. We have to ask God to help us. We need to trust in Him that He's going to put us with a woman that is meant to be with us. We cannot try to take this on our own where He's like, I need to be in full control. I need to get with it. You need to trust God that God is going to put the right person, the right woman in your life, the woman that's designed to be with you. But the only way that you can see that, come to fruition is by being close to God. Not by trying to put yourself in the limelight, trying to put yourself in a situation to where you can attract and where you can chase more women. No. By getting closer to God, that's where God will then show you the one that's meant for you. And then once you let that energy exude off of you, when you stop letting that anxiety stop letting that anxiousness worry you, was like, oh, I got to get with that girl, or I got to get with that. She could be the one. She could be it. She could be it. Why is she not texting back? Why is she not getting with me? You over here pacing back and forth, finding out what you can do to raise her interest, etc., etc., etc. That's you trying to take something that's not in your control and you're trying to control it. What did I tell you boys about trying to control stuff that's not in your control? When it comes to things that are outside of your control, you just need to lean on God that He's going to make a way for you, bro. That you can control what you can control only. And for the things you can't control, you're going to just trust Him, trust in His power, trust in His plans. Trust Him even when you don't know. Trust Him even when you think it's not meant to be the way it's supposed to be. God, I thought that was the one. You sure that wasn't the one? Trust me, He knows. If she was the one, she would have chosen you. She would have made it easy for you. You don't have to force what's meant for you. But you over here doing whatever it takes, forcing and forcing and forcing and forcing and simping and simping and simping, all with just a hope, all of just trying to take your life and take your plan. Man, follow God's plan. Allow what does happen and what doesn't happen, chuck it up as in God got me. Rejection is just divine protection. It's divine protection. If somebody rejects you, bro, it's God's hand closing that door. Not so you can always feel in despair, but so He can continue to lead you, so you can continue to walk the path in which He has destined for you, bro. Get back on your purpose, bro. Prioritize being close to the Most High. Prioritize your purpose above all else. Prioritize what you were meant to be above all else. And everything else will get taken care of. Don't worry about, oh, am I going to find the one? Am I going to be single forever? Just focus on being the best you. Being what He's called you to be. Being the best person on the inside. Developing your character. Developing your discipline. XP, getting more experience points, just getting better at life, bro. Focus on just being better at life. And if you focus on your energy on being better at life, God is going to send you better. He's going to send you better. He's going to send you what you need. Trust in Him, dog. Stop worrying about stuff that's outside of your control. That's where simping comes from. It's trying to control the uncontrollable, trying to make a girl like you that's choosing not to like you. You don't got no control over her, bro. And it's okay. There will be another opportunity. There will be another time. But we can't focus on that right now. We need to be focused on things that are more important. And those things are getting closer to God and fulfilling the purpose He called us to be, so we can be the coldest individual we possibly can be. And if we are the coldest individual we possibly can be, best believe we're going to attract and get the one that He's destined us to be with. And so that's all I got for y'all boys, man. Before y'all go, man, please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'm going to holler at y'all boys.